about 14 years old, and I ended up having 3 surgeries in a year on my knee. I started going to doctors, and I realized what the painkillers, how they made me feel.
I was scared of those street drugs. Like, I didn't know what people were putting in them when they cut them and they mix them and everything. So me, it was me more prescribed. I wasn't prescribed myself, but I had friends who were like Xanax, Adderall, Exley. So I stuck to pills, but I was doing like lots of it.
I just started asking the doctor for more and more, and they just kept giving them to me. Then it just led into harder stuff, and I realized what mixing the painkillers with alcohol could do.
I would do it in order to feel better on myself, because like I didn't think me as a person, as myself, was enough. I listen to a lot of rap music. They talk about sex and drugs a lot. So in my mind, I kind of got drawn to that. That's what I had to be. So I was always chasing girls. I was always getting high. And it kind of affected my personality, changed my attitude, changed who I was. I started becoming a whole other person.
I just got in the wrong crowd. I started trading them for harder drugs, and then eventually I was just hooked. I started doing more and more. It led to me getting kicked out of school, and then I was definitely just out doing whatever I wanted. The drugs were just taking me down farther and farther, and I was back to doing meth, putting a needle in my arm.
Like anything I could get my hands on that I knew was like an actual thing, I'd get it. I'd get out of trouble, and then I'd get right back into trouble. And then I'd try to get clean on my own, but then I'd be hanging out with some friends, and they'd be doing it, and I'd hear this voice in my head that kind of told me that I was missing out.
I wanted to stop, but I couldn't. I'd go to jail, I'd get out, and I'd just go back to the same thing. I landed back in jail again for the 3rd time, and that's when I knew I needed help.
I kind of hid it from my mom. She saw me like becoming a whole other person. So like when it came from her that like she was worried about me and like she was like scared for my future, it really hit me deep. So like she told me about Strong Tower.
I called my dad. I told him that I messed up again, and that they was wanting to send me to prison on this time. My cousin told him about a place down in Texas. He said it was a Christian-based place.
It's church, it's free, you don't have to pay anything, you can go get help.
I didn't really know what to think about it. I've never done a Christian scene in a rehab.
I consider myself atheist, so I didn't believe in God at all. I was like, I don't know, I think I can do it myself. 2 weeks later, I kind of like broke down, had this revelation, like that I can do it on my own, that I really do need help. So I gave it a chance.
I was willing to try something different, and I was at the bottom of my barrel, and I wanted to be there for my son. And so I called out to the Lord and asked him to make a way.
I got here, and I didn't know what exactly I was getting myself into. This whole brotherly love that we're taught, that God, we can't love each other. If we don't love God, we can't love God if we love each other. It got introduced to me, and I saw out there how people would act like they were your friend, as long as it benefited them. So when I came here, I didn't know how to react, but I grew to learn that people, they really do care about you. There are people that really do like care about you and your future and how you feel and how you're doing.
When I got here, I didn't know what to think about the place. I never really liked being around a lot of people. I used to be a selfish person, really was, and really just whatever I wanted, whenever I wanted it. And so now God's really helped me gain that patience and learn how to love on somebody and just to help out your brother.
Something kind of started staring up at me, and I wasn't sure what it was. But I learned down the road that it was the Holy Spirit, that I started to see God, so He was making His presence known to me. And it's the Holy Spirit that He sends to us, the Comforter. When I got a revelation of what that was and who He was and how He was working on me and how He is real, He's there with us, and He can do miracles in our lives, I stopped like trying to fight against it, and I started embracing it, started seeking Him.
God's really here, and it's amazing. I praise the Lord, and I just thank Him for hearing our cries. You know what I mean? I didn't know nothing about the Bible, and I'm so grateful for where I'm at nowadays. For just Him listening, He made the way. I didn't even really believe in God, but He opened up the doors, and now I just want to lead my family to righteousness.
I got into worshiping. I wasn't caring if people what they thought about me, getting up there, putting my hands up, singing, dancing. I started praying more, started talking to God. People do love you, and God does love you. Even when people fail you, He won't. He loves you. He'll always be there for you. It's been a crazy trip. It's been a wild journey, but it's been worth it. It's probably the best decision I've made in my life.